So after a week away and a wonderful Doctor Who special, we're back.
We're back!
Yeah!
The crowd goes wild! Cut your shit out.
Alright, so today we have some on-the-spot comic reviews. We got a new PPP, not featuring
It was
something
one time
that's been featured before.
No, it wasn't.
We got a trade review, which will not be Garry's Saga trade. He will be reviewing that next week as he has fallen behind.
I am a shit.
We got some toy news, some Marvel Lego news, video game stuff. Lots of good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Start us off, Geoff. What do you read
So, this week I tried something I don't normally read. That was Catwoman number 25, part of the 0 year. I don't know if it's a crossover or just an event or whatever you want to call it.
It's a let's get more Batman-related stuff out there.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, though. They have Forever Evil going on, 0 year going on, and that new, what's that dark one called?
Blight.
Blight crossover starting up.
Blight at least ties into Forever Evil.
Yeah.
This 0 year stuff takes place
Pretty much on its
in
own.
the past, so yeah, it's not really connected.
So like Garry said, Catwoman 25 takes place in the past. It's a 0 year issue, so this is before she was Catwoman. It was alright. Nothing fantastic.
We had this type of issue before. Oh, wait, we do.
Did we?
The 0 issue of Catwoman, probably.
Probably, actually. Yeah. So, it starts out, and she's on the run from the cops. You know, doing her thing. She was just a young and fancy-free thief. Not all.
A cat girl.
Not sophisticated like she is now. Yeah. With all her tech and whatnot.
And her leathers.
Yeah. So she's hiding in an alley and just finds this random bag of climbing gear. I don't know how that happened.
As one is akin to do in an alley.
So there's like some sweet boots and like a grappling hook gun and whatever else, right? So she escapes from the cops there and she has a run-in with someone else. And,
convenient.
Yeah. And she's kind of liking, I don't know, doing that kind of thing, I guess. Thieving.
Adding it to her repertoire now.
Yeah. Anyways, the book goes on, and it's really just not that memorable. It's
Surprise,
your,
a shoehorned in issue.
Yeah, it's just your average type origin issue, and it's not even really an origin. It's like before the origin.
Yeah.
Right? It's before she was even Catwoman, or even before she even decided
Selena
to be
Kyle's
Catwoman.
Day out.
Yeah, it's just like a day in the life of pre-Catwoman, pre-origin Catwoman.
That was just taking place like before, like doing the blackout in Gotham as well.
Well, it says 6 years ago.
So it's doing the blackout before the storm or something.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not too up to date on the Bat titles. So, but I thought I'd give it a shot, and it seemed like an okay introductory issue, and it was all right. But it doesn't really tell you anything about the current status of Catwoman, or what's going on today in the title, because it's a
throwaway issue.
It's a throwaway issue. That's all it is. That was decent. It was written by John Layman with art by Aaron Lopresti. It looks beautiful. He's always a great artist, and I like John Layman's stuff. He's always good. But would I pick up the title based on this book? Not a chance.
No. There's
just nothing there to make me warrant coming back at all.
So
I don't know about all the other 0 year issues or
how
they will be.
But you mentioned that.
Yes.
The issue I read this week is a 0 year issue.
Ties right in. Look at that.
Look at that. The Flash, number 25.
Huh.
As regular viewers know, I love this book. Unfortunately, we're going on right off the bat with the unfortunately. Unfortunately, this issue is the swan song of the creative team that's been on the Flash book since the get-go. Yeah. As far as their last issue goes...
Throwaway issue?
Exactly. It's a little disappointing. It feels like the zero issue they could have done back a year ago. It takes place again during these what's known as 0 year now in the history of Gotham. The Riddler crashes the power grid, and there's this big superstorm heading towards Gotham, which is the main kind of plot point playing out in this arc in the Batman books now, or in Batman by Greg Capullo. And, Barry Allen just happens to go to Gotham City and help out during this time of crisis, because he's a cop as well, just graduated from the academy. It's like, okay, who else are we gonna shoehorn into 0 year? Like, this feels shoehorned. Are we gonna get an Aquaman 0 year issue? Like, having the Bat books do some 0 year stuff, like Catwoman and all them, that makes sense, because it's in that Bat family.
Yeah, it's a Batman crossover, whatever event.
Throwing the Flash into this, especially the creative team's last issue on the Flash being this, it's not, because of who's writing it and drawing it, it looks fantastic. It's a great looking book. The story is pretty solid. You can kind of see maybe this little drug that they're investigating on the streets of Gotham during the blackout. Barry gets some of it forcibly into his system, so maybe there's a bit of that lingering around, which is where his powers come from as well, why the lightning was attracted to him and the Speed Force, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So, there's a cool splash page of him and Iris together, which has been one of the biggest travesties out of the New 52, not having him and Iris together.
Yeah.
Friggin' hate them not being together. But, look at that. Look at how cool is that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, again, it's a good, solid little crime detective story. Harvey Bullock's got a nice role in it. But it's disappointing that this is the last issue that these guys are doing for Flash. It's a throwaway issue as part of a crossover event that has nothing to do with the Flash.
Yeah.
And it's, as a swan song goes for the team, it's a bit of a letdown. If this were, starting of an issue, starting of an arc,
like an introductory, how would you say? Like, pretty good for a new reader? Would it make them want to pick up the book?
He doesn't have his powers
on
in
its
this
own
book.
Yeah, so it's basically like the Catwoman book.
Yeah, he's not the Flash. He's just graduated from.
It's not even his origin. It's just pre-origin.
Yeah, exactly. It's him. A
day in the life.
We see the seeds of Barry Allen, the hero.
Yeah.
We see his stance on right and wrong, black and white type of thing.
Yeah.
But
it's the same with Catwoman.
Yeah, as if this were like the part of a new arc, or an exploration of the Flash before he got his powers in his own book type of thing, it'd be interesting. But shoehorning it into 0 year, having it be the end of these guys' run on the book, I'm just disappointed on it as a whole.
Yeah.
Again, from a technical standpoint, the writing is solid because it's a great writer. The art is great. Again, the Flash book has been fantastic from the get-go. I would like to have seen a little bit better for it story-wise on the whole, not the content of it, but where it fits into the Flash's universe for these guys to go out on.
Yeah.
I can't remember who's taking over the Flash.
I don't recall either, actually.
I can't remember. But, I might still keep getting the Flash because I love the book. And I love the character. Yeah. So, but overall, I'm disappointed with this issue. I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5.
I'm not going to be that harsh. I'm going to give it a 3 for Catwoman.
Yeah.
It was a good story.
It ties in a little bit better to what's going on with 0 year,
but
at
it's
least.
Meaningless.
Yeah. This all we see is a retread of what we already know about Flash.
Yeah.
Shoehorned into
Batman.
A Batman book crossover.
Yeah.
And Batman's not even in the book.
All right.
So
0 year so far, not doing too well, buddy.
0 year in Capullo's book, in Greg Capullo's and Scott Snyder's book, is fantastic. It's probably some of the best Batman. Well, Snyder's Batman has been the best Batman, I think, in the last decade anyway. So it's succeeding on those points, but having it reach out to books that it doesn't belong in is a bad move. I don't know if this is padding out the books between Forever Evil stuff, and they just needed it to pad out the books, or what. But, like I said, as far as the actual story goes, it's good. The art is good, the storytelling is good, but the overall theme of it, I could take a pass on it.
Alright. So, I also read Uncanny Avengers number 14 by Rick Remender. It's got some little pictures by Steve McNiven, which he's usually pretty good.
I gotta close my ears off for this one.
But some of it kind of fell flat art-wise. I think maybe because he was trying to get the book out on time than rather do his super ultra detailed type pencils. But still good. I mean, better than most. But could have tried a little harder. Anyways, that's really the only negative I have on that. If you've seen the spoilers online, this book features...
I haven't seen the spoilers.
A few notable deaths, which I will not name.
You just flipped through the book and I saw a couple of them, so thanks for that.
I don't know if you actually saw that. You just saw bloody people. Not necessarily dead.
I hope not. Keep that book closed, sir.
If everyone's been reading this title, you know, it's got the Apocalypse Twins and their whole thing going on.
Friggin' love those guys.
And Kang features quite prominently in it. You got...
Is this the end of the
nope,
story arc?
Still not.
Okay.
That's just also kind of another tiny negative for me. I just think they're dragging it on a bit too long.
It's Remender. He doesn't write 3-issue arcs.
I know.
If you're reading a Remender book,
and so far this is a 14 issue.
The Red Skull one at the beginning
I know.
was
There was an arc at the beginning, but still.
Remender's a long haul writer.
So it's pretty good. My favorite part of all in this book is just the beginning. It's got cameos by Strife, which I don't mind Strife. It's got Venom from Earth X, which I like. It's got Doom from 2099, which is pretty cool. It's got Arno Stark Iron Man from 2020, which is pretty cool. It's got Ahab from Days of Future Past, X-Men Alternate
You know Arno is in canon now?
Yes, I do.
In the Iron Man books?
It's got a future Deathlock and a future Magistrate Braddock, I believe, which was from his Uncanny X-Force run. So, some pretty cool cameos, which do not explain it in this book. They're not explained, I should say. And this book also, while it does feature these deaths, and it does have, you know, the Apocalypse Twins and stuff going on, it's essentially still just setting up the next book after. So, it's a good book. But I'd wish, like, this was a double-size issue or something, so we could just get to the end of the story. Kinda. It's just, I'm a little bit tired of each issue setting up the next issue without any real payoff. You know what I mean? It's good.
Did you read his Uncanny X-Force stuff?
I have read it all.
Like as it released or in long form?
Long form.
Okay.
As trades.
Yeah. I got his X-Force stuff as it was released, and you're definitely right. There is a lot of tension and building up of the story with little payoff issue to issue, but when you get the payoff, it's so worth it.
I know. And that's why I liked buying it in trades.
Yeah, oh, definitely, yeah.
But that's what I kind of wish I had done with this.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it's a great book. I really like it. It's one of the better Avengers titles.
I think it's right up there with, New Avengers is my favorite, yeah.
So, I recommend it. It's a great story. The deaths, well, one of them has me, maybe two of them has me a little angry. I'm hoping, because this is all, like, this whole arc has been about time and Kang and future and past and all sorts of things, that these deaths don't really mean anything.
You think there'll be a MacGuffin to take them out?
I'm hoping something, I don't know, we'll see. So I'm hoping that they get reversed, and or at least one of them, because one of them I really like, and we'll see. On the whole, it's a great book. It's a slow burn book, though. It's kind of like the Cap run where he had that 10-issue arc, right? Good stuff. I give it 4 out of 5, I think.
Nice.
4 out of 5. So check it out. Although I think you would be best be waiting, either buy all the issues or buy the trade. Don't start in the middle. Introductory wise, it's terrible. You just can't start in the middle of this one.
Yeah.
So
You got a trade for us this week, Geoff?
I do have a trade. I read Girls, the complete collection by the Luna Brothers.
I have no idea what this is.
I know you don't.
Fair enough.
It's put out by Image Comics a number of years ago. Not too long, but it's 24 issues collected in one book. Pretty cool. It was $50 US. I got a good deal on it. I think I got it for $20.
Nice.
So definitely worth it. The great thing about the Luna Brothers is that they draw in a style that looks animated, so like you're kind of watching a movie.
Yeah.
I really love it.
Nice.
Every book they do is like that. And it just feels like you're watching an animated film on paper.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty sweet. First thought when I picked this up, I thought it was just going to be basically about girls. Right? That's kind of what it seems like. Without looking at it or reading anything. And it does have a lot of girls in it. But going along, it turns, and I was kind of, I don't know what would have happened if I'd read this first, but I watched Under the Dome. We both watched Under the Dome, remember that? So I'm reading this book, and going along, gets to a point, boom, they're under a dome. So I'm like, what is going on?
Well, Stephen King's book came out. Did it come out before this?
So I had to look it up, because I wanted to see which came first.
Yeah. I think
Now, I'd never read the book. We did watch the TV show. TV show came after this book, but the original Under the Dome by Stephen King novel came out before this. So I can't say if this was in production before his or during his or what. Who made it to print first, but who was in development first?
Yeah.
You don't know. It's hard to say. So it just seemed weird, though, reading this after I just watched the television show, right?
Under the Dome, the novel. Trade paperback.
Yeah, exactly. Except in this one, you got a giant alien sperm thing out in the middle of a cornfield, and it's sucking up people, and then they explode when they get in, because it's sucking up all the energy and, I don't know, nutrients and whatever. Thing is, we never get to know exactly what this alien sperm thing is doing, or why it's doing what it's doing, because in the end, they defeat it, so to speak. There's a lot of girls, and every time...
Girls!
I know. In the beginning, there was just one girl, but Buddy finds her wandering in the middle of the road, takes her home, ends up having sex with her, and the next morning she lays a ton of eggs.
As girls are known to do.
That's right. Lays a ton of eggs, and out of those eggs come fully grown more girls.
As girls do.
There's just something about them that makes every dude in here want to have sex with them, and every time they do have sex, more eggs, more girls. So, pretty... I don't know. I actually enjoyed this...
No idea what's going on in this book.
I actually enjoyed this far better than Under the Dome.
Yeah.
It's very suspenseful. Lots of action. And it's got everything to say. It was similar to Under the Dome too. You know, everyone's going crazy, crazy, and trying to find food and trying to find water and fighting over this and fighting over that. And who can you trust?
Naked egg girls.
Yeah, like the women don't trust the men because the men might have sex with the girls and make more eggs. And the girls are actually hunting and killing all the women in the book.
Oh, jeez.
Which is why the women don't trust the men, right? Because the girls need the men to reproduce, and then they kill the women to feed to the giant sperm thing. It's just...
Wow.
It's a totally off-the-wall, crazy, crazy book, but it's awesome. Like, it is awesome. I give it a 5 out of 5. Like,
That's so bizarre.
It's so good. I cannot even explain it to the best of my ability. It's just great. It's got everything Under the Dome television series had, and I'm sure the novel had, but it's got a lot more, too. And it's absolutely crazy. I definitely recommend it. Pick it up. $50 might be a steep price tag, so if you can find it on sale, get it. It's available digitally for much cheaper, I'm sure.
Is that the entire run in that thing?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
All 24 issues, 2 years worth of books.
Cool.
Joss Whedon loves it. On the back it says Variety loves it. Brian Michael Bendis loves it. Everyone loves this book. It's great.
Cool.
So check it out. Girls, the complete collection. I believe it's also in 4 smaller volumes. But anyway, you can get it. Get it.
Excellent.
Yep. So, do we have a power panel?
We do! It comes to us from Superman. No, I'm just kidding.
I knew it.
From it's from Daredevil 32.
Sweet.
Yeah, one of the greatest books.
It is
on the
one
stands.
of the greatest books. Yeah.
He's on the trail of the Serpent Society. Serpent Society?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's tracking down this one guy that apparently has the Darkhold.
Oh,
which,
cool.
Yeah. And they had a bunch of monsters from in the last issue. They had Frankenstein, the zombie dude, Jack
Simon
Russell.
Garth, yeah.
Jack Russell, Satana,
Oh,
which is
sweet.
awesome. So every time that Daredevil kind of comes up against a world that's not really his, I enjoy. Because he's not really a big... I mean, he knows this stuff exists because he knows Doctor Strange, so he knows this world is out there. So he's tracking down this this guy that has the Darkhold, and there's apparently this place in the south where the guy's kind of holed up that would drive anyone insane with its sights and sounds. So Daredevil's like, no, okay, I got this. So he goes in there, but all of these weird, like, he starts kind of experiencing all this hate that the Serpent Society is kind of all about, like all this prejudice and bigotry and racism. He starts experiencing it for hours and hours and hours, and he comes to the end of it, and it's not, he realizes that it's not designed to keep people out. It's a test to see if they're worthy of joining them.
Oh, okay.
So this guy's sitting there like flipping through the Darkhold, and Daredevil busts in carrying a torch, which I'm not quite sure why he had a torch, because he doesn't need the light. I'm not sure if it was designed just because he was going to just burn this guy's place down.
Yeah.
But it's a full-page panel of just Daredevil surrounded by fire, coming to the realization that it was a test, and he's just pissed.
Oh, that's the power panel.
Yeah, it's just a full page of just this like demonic-looking, angry Daredevil surrounded by flames as he's confronting this Serpent Society guy, and it's fantastic. And he ends up stealing a couple of pages of the Darkhold, so I'm looking forward to where it goes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, that leads into our news section.
It does.
Daredevil not necessarily reboot, just a restart.
Relaunch, yeah. Wade's actually referring to it as like the end of the season of this book, which
actually, and Marvel, I believe, is trying to go that route.
Yeah,
now. Every
I think
year is a
they're
different
slowly
season.
teasing it out, and eventually we're going to get an announcement that this is how the books are going to go. Yeah. So every year we get. I think maybe they're trying to line things up over the next couple of years.
Maybe.
So maybe January they'll be all number ones, then June they'll be number ones, December number ones. So just kind of every 6 months they have a launching of new books with new number ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, Daredevil. I think it's going to be 36 is the last issue of the current run. March next year we kick off same creative team, which I'm very thankful on because I'm loving their work. The art has always been great on this book, and they're moving him to San Francisco.
Well, also in between though, there's an exclusive web series,
book,
the digital books,
which shows
chronicles that move and what happens in their adventures doing that. So,
which I mean, I'm hoping they release that as a physical copy.
Might be in the trade too, though.
Yeah,
they might just slip it in there instead.
I mean, it's part of their Infinity. Was it the Infinity series of books they're calling them?
I think so. Yeah.
And it hasn't really bugged me before. Like I don't get them, I don't read them, I don't want to because they're not really important. But I love Daredevil, so I might try and pick this one up. And I hope it comes in some physical copy later on, so I can have it as part of my Daredevil run. Yeah. But, having him move to San Francisco could be kind of cool. Apparently it's a lawyer reason why he goes. I don't know if there's a bar issue in New York that he's facing and he's going to relocate. He's been on the road before to different places, so I think it'd be kind of cool. Like some of the teasing, like how the architecture and the environment are going to play in differently.
Well, the X-Men lived there for years, too.
So it could be kind of cool having Daredevil on the road
and that's
again.
The second big move in the Marvel Universe with Punisher going to California.
Yeah, true.
So,
kind of,
I like it because, honestly, in any universe, New York is not the center of it.
Yeah.
So
it's very, very highly packed with our
heroes.
Yes.
Why would anyone in their right mind commit a crime in New York with all those heroes?
You're going to turn the corner and like, oh, damn.
You are going to be stopped.
Yeah.
Like you are.
That's why I love the 50 State Initiative.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah. So I guess now we have a third relocation of a character then.
Why? What's the third one?
The Moon Knight.
That's not relocation. He's still in New York.
He was in LA for a long time.
Yeah.
Now he's coming back.
It's not just coming back home, that's all.
Yeah, it's still a relocation.
It's not a relocation.
It's a relocation.
No. Anyways, yeah, Moon Knight relaunch / reboot / whatever you want to call it with Warren Ellis.
For the 412th time?
I don't know.
Moon
I
Knight
think it's going to be actually volume
9.
8, I want to say. So,
Warren Ellis, though.
Warren Ellis, Declan Shalvey, and Jordi Belair, which would be pretty cool. The art looks great so far. Yeah. The black and white preview art.
Yeah.
I don't know. They haven't colorized it yet. Which, I don't know. It looks great in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. But $3.99, maybe they should color it. Get your money's worth.
It'll be colored.
Get your money's worth, yeah. I can't wait.
Warren
That's
Ellis
on the top of my to-read list. I love Warren Ellis. I love Moon Knight.
I was a little bit disappointed with Bendis' Moon Knight.
Yeah, I read it all. It was okay. I think it read better as trades when you read the whole story arcs, but
I think Ellis could do a good interpretation of the character. So
well, yeah, and he's not focusing on the multiple personality thing.
Yeah, which good, fine, thank you.
I know, we've had enough of that.
Yeah.
Like, during... Doug Mensch created the character, and during his numerous runs on the book, they didn't really look into that, because it wasn't really an issue. Mm-hmm. And that's what Warren Ellis is saying, too, in his little interviews, is it's not really an issue.
Yeah.
He just chose to focus on that. Let's focus on him being, a grim and gritty type, not necessarily Batman.
Yeah, street-level type guy.
Yeah, just a gritty type hero guy, like not really like the Punisher, but sort of akin, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to it. I think with Bendis' run doing everything on the kitchen sink when it came to his personality disorder,
it was.
I think it'd be a nice change of pace to have just Warren Ellis focusing on telling stories with this character.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
So.
A couple good character moves and stuff coming up in the Marvel universe. Good
For
stuff.
sure.
Yeah.
So what else you got?
Well, I've been exploring my PS4
Ooh.
the last little bit since the launch. Amazon got me my package. Pretty good schedule. I got it a couple days after launch, and
you had none of those problems with the update.
No, I had no blue light of death issues, or white light of death, whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
I downloaded the update beforehand onto a memory stick and loaded it in before I even started the thing, so maybe that fixed any issues I might have had. But, I got my account updated. It wasn't really that difficult to get everything ready. I just loaded in my PSN account info, had all my trophies brought over for my PS3 version, and I've been playing Assassin's Creed 4 and Lego Superheroes, Marvel Lego Superheroes. I took a break on Assassin's Creed when it came to 3 because I really didn't care about the setting. I mean, I didn't really...
Isn't the new one in Civil War or something?
That was 3.
Oh, okay.
3 was American history version.
What's this one?
Pirates.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest Pirates fan in the world, but I was looking for a game to play that was going to give me a lot of length and time into my PS4. So I'm like, this is the biggest, longest game that there is out for the moment for the PS4, so I picked it up. And I'm glad I did. It is fun as hell.
Is it?
It is so
That's
good.
Cool.
It's so fun just piloting your ship around in the open ocean and like, hey look, there's a whale jumping out of the ocean. Let's go check it out. Or let's go harpoon it. Mm-hmm. There's all these islands you get to explore. There's ones that are very Mayan themed. And there's little hidden collectibles to find and explore. And it's a fun game. I mean, once you kind of get into the story, it's very much the same Assassin's Creed that we've been playing for the last, 10 years.
Cool.
But once you get out in the open ocean and you get to upgrade your ship, and it's just fun. There's a naval mini-game where you get your own fleet and you send them out and you have to make this route safe for the other ships.
Yeah. You
do trading to get more supplies and more money and everything. And it's a fun game. I ended up getting this one outfit for my character kind of early on, and it's a red cloak, like a red jacket, and with the hood up, he looks like Shazam.
That's cool.
So I'm kind of loving that, and just your crew sings songs. You collect these little sea shanties throughout the game, and they sing as you go through the world, and it is such a fun game.
There's some pretty good detail.
Oh yeah,
sounds of it.
The naval battles are fun. Having ship on ship combat is great. You decide what you want to do after you fight the boat, whether you want to take it over and have it part of your fleet, scraps, or repair your ships.
Yeah.
And it is such a fun game. There are a couple of little design issues I have, like if I want to open a chest or something, having to be in the exact right spot is a little iffy. As soon as you get into the game, everything is popped open for you on the map and everything, so like I know what every little blip on my map means from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it wouldn't do that. I wish it would reveal these little detail things as you go through the story, just so it's not like, hey, eventually I get to go do this.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit, I'm not a super big fan of that, and it's the same inside some of the menus where everything's kind of popped open right at the get-go, so like, oh, this is kind of letting me know where I'm heading. But there's a couple little things, like when it's a little bit too hand-holdy as well.
Okay.
Where it tells you exactly what you do in every situation while not letting you figure out exactly what it wants you to do. There's different ways of doing these objectives, but it tells you right off the bat what your end result needs to be, as opposed to you figuring that out. And when you're upgrading your ship for the first time, it won't let you do anything in addition to that. You have to hit these little checkpoints before it lets you do anything else. Like, okay, I know what I need to do, let me do it, but don't lock me out of the other things. And once I got my boat, I wanted to go sell my cargo. I was running the ship, I was clearly the captain, but the first port I went to go sell my rum and sugar at, the guy's speaking Spanish, so I don't know why I can't sell any of my stuff. It turns out I'm not officially at the part of the story where I'm allowed to sell things as a captain.
That's kind of crappy.
Yeah, I'm like, come on. This is my boat, I have it, I have a crew, but I haven't hit the story part yet where it lets me sell things. Like, come on. Little annoying
So
there.
a couple little kinks despite it all.
But overall, it is a fun game. It is a lot of fun. The open ocean stuff is fantastic. It's easily the best part of the game.
Cool.
And it's a fun little action third-person character game. And it's really enjoyable. I also picked up Marvel Lego Superheroes. My girlfriend and I are big fans of the Lego games, and that's some of the only video games she plays. And she's just like smashing the crap out of all the Lego stuff. She's almost got a platinum trophy in the Harry Potter one, so she's kind of proud about that. I don't even have a platinum yet. And it's a great game for Marvel fans and Lego fans. There's a ton of Marvel characters, like 100 or so characters. I used on my PlayStation Store credit to unlock a few extras, like I got Beta Ray Bill. So it's just fun having him whip Stormbreaker around and fly around Lego New York. The worlds, the levels you play in are massive. They're huge to run around in. There's great little missions and character cameos and that. So if you're a Marvel fan, definitely check out Lego Marvel Superheroes. If you're a Lego fan, you're going to love this game because it's right up there. It takes some of the best parts of some of the previous Lego games and makes it kind of its own while improving on the parts where Lego Batman 2 kind of faltered. The big open world didn't really work in that game.
Yeah.
It works a lot better in this one. My biggest gripe is you can't invert the controls. So, like, up is up, down is down, as opposed to inverting, especially for flying characters. That gets to be a pain in the ass. Not having the option to change it, I think they've got to put that in.
Yeah.
So,
cool stuff.
Got a little bit of toy news from this week as well. I'm a big fan of Bluefin Tamashi's figures, the 6-inch scale, a little bit smaller than 6-inch scale. They do the Dragon Ball Z figures, they do some Sailor Moon stuff as well. They're also doing, it's the SH Figure Arts line, basically, is what they're under the banner of. And they're coming out with these things called Effect Impacts. They're kind of display bases. So if you've watched Dragon Ball Z, you know, like, the ground kind of cracks in and they kind of swells up in like a little crater thing. So it looks like that. This is the base that they're making for the figures. But they're also modular, and they can be used in conjunction with the display stands that come with the figures. So you can have like a character being knocked through a wall and have the middle piece come out, or you can have kind of rocks floating up but simulating a fight scene, or like a Dragon Ball Z power-up. So they're about $15 each. There's 2 different color schemes they're coming out with. And I think there is 12 parts that each one is made up of that you can customize it and use. And they look great.
That's cool.
And so I think, I'm hoping our comic book store gets some in because I'd like to have them for my Dragon Ball Z figures. I think that'd be kind of cool. One of my favorite lines of figures is the Funko Pop series of figures, the little tiny big-headed ones.
They are awesome.
They're and they keep making so many good figures.
I know. It's hard to get a complete...
I know. They just announced the new Game of Thrones Series 3 or something, or I think that's Series 3, and Brienne is in this one, Tywin Lannister, a scarred-up Tyrion as well, Ghost.
Cool.
They're doing Ghost.
Huh.
But they're also now, they're going to be debuting at New York Toy Fair next year. They're going to be called the Funko Legacy line. They're a 6-inch scale of figures in line with the kind of similar to the Star Wars Black series that's out right now. And they haven't released what the series is going to be, but there's going to be 2 major lines that are going to be announced at Toy Fair. They've been doing hints throughout the last little while of Firefly, Universal Monsters, Back to the Future, Goonies, Terminator, The Rocketeer, Predator, and just a ton of other figures, a series of figures that they want to be doing. Now, they haven't decided whether they're going to be in the Pop series or hopefully in this new Legacy line.
Yeah.
I'm hoping a Rocketeer 6-inch figure from these guys would be something that would be at the top of my list. I would love to see that. But with the work they do on their Pop figures, having a 6-inch line of figures like the Star Wars Black series is great news. I'm looking forward to that. Because I think we need another 6-inch line of highly detailed figures out there.
You think so?
Yeah. The Marvel Legends have kind of dipped a little, in my opinion. DC's stuff is kind of waning, especially now they're going more Marvel Legend-esque with their articulation. They don't look as good. The Star Wars Black series is killing it with their figures. I can't wait for the second series to release up here so I can get my Han Solo and Boba Fett. Having another series of great figures in this scale is great news for everybody.
Cool.
The one of my favorite lines right now is the Pacific Rim series of figures. I've got the Striker Eureka at home, despite the fact it won't stand up on its own. I still love the figure.
Really?
Yeah, it keeps falling over.
Huh.
No matter what. It sets up, 2 days later, over. I don't know why. Yeah.
Is it top heavy? Is that one?
No, the shape is kind of triangular on its top, so, but maybe the legs are a little bit bent on it. But the Kaiju figures they released were a little bit smaller. Like the knife head that came out original in Series 1 was kind of small. The Series 2 leatherback is huge. So Randy Falk gave an interview. What they're doing a deluxe Kaiju assortment.
Yeah.
They're going to be bigger, larger scaled figures. So Series 3 has Crimson Typhoon and Coyote Tango as the Jaegers in that series, which is awesome. No, sorry, not Crimson Typhoon, Cherno Alpha. Cherno Alpha and Coyote Tango are going to be the Jaegers. And they're releasing 2 new kaiju to go with it. One is called Trespassers, kind of like knife head, axey looking dude. And they're re-releasing the knife head from Series 1 with a new battle damage deco and coloring, but it's 50% bigger.
Wow.
And they have a picture of it scaled next to the original one to show scale. Yeah, and you can tell it almost looks twice as big. And so they're making sure that the kaiju are going to be, the right scale, more detail, more articulation. So they're going to be beefing them up a little. So all the kaijus coming out now are going to be bigger in scale.
That's cool.
So they're great. The Jaegers look awesome. I want to get my hands on the 18-inch Gypsy Danger figure, but it's a hard thing to find. They're going into another production run to get more of them out there because they sold out completely.
Yeah, meet demand.
Yeah. So, it's kind of cool. Especially, this is a big dramatic change, especially a series that's 3 series in, and they're going back and retooling the entire bad guy side of the line to make them bigger, better, stronger, faster.
That's cool.
Yeah, good news coming out of Pacific Rim's figures. Very good news to hear.
Sweet.
Yeah. So we just had our Doctor Who 50th anniversary special.
Yes, we did.
What did you think of it, Geoff?
I pretty much loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it
I was also the Zygons were a little bit of a weaker foe, I think, for the 50th.
I don't know why they chose them out of everything they could have chosen.
Yeah.
It's just,
they weren't even background villains. They were the main crux of the episode.
I know, and then they just sort of disappeared later on.
Yeah. They were just in human form negotiating a peace treaty. I did like the whole, for the next hour, you don't know if you're the good guys or bad guys. Oh, crap, really?
Yeah.
That was kind of a cool little thing.
Did you see all the plot holes they listed on?
Yeah, I saw those, yeah.
I have to agree with the 3D painting one, though, where they've captured a sliver of Gallifreyan time, and the three doctors are in there, right?
Yeah.
So they can come forward into the Black Room or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
And so why didn't any of the other Gallifrey people that were alive in that sliver of time
Pop out
come
with
out?
them? Yeah. Why didn't they do that? I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also agree with why or since when did a sonic screwdriver create waves of force
Throw a
to
Dalek
push
out
an
of a
enemy,
fist.
yeah, or whatever. Even three together, I can't even really see it. You know.
I'm thinking it was some timey-wimey stuff, seeing as they're all three of the same screwdriver.
Yeah. And the other thing too, now I'm sure he has some sort of, maybe it's in the Sonic, he can just recall the TARDIS, but they were in that painting for hundreds of years, let's say. How did they all get back to their TARDISes left in the past?
That was explained. They did an update on that. I think
Did
there
they?
was an explanation. Yeah, I can't remember what it is, but someone gave an explanation.
See, like I think maybe they just recalled it and it came back.
I loved the banter and the interaction between the three doctors.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, I loved how they're all pointing at sonic screwdrivers, and then John Hurt's War Doctor was like, "What are you pointing at them for? That's not a weapon. What are you gonna do? Assemble a cabinet at them?"
I know.
It's like what, and the cool line about why you're ashamed of acting your age or acting old, and they're like, "Oh, because of me," right? I think my favorite part was the Bill and Ted.
What part was that?
Where they're like trying to open the door. So like, what if I start the calculation now? 400 years later,
that, yeah.
It was like it was so Bill and Ted.
I actually never thought that when I was watching.
No, I thought it was great, and the door was unlocked anyway.
Yeah,
it should have been locked. No.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah, having Tennant and Smith's interactions were great.
They worked really well together.
Yeah,
I thought they did a really good job.
Overall, I enjoyed it. I like Moffat's ability to change status quo without undoing stuff that's come before. Because, like, as far as anything else is concerned, as far as the Doctor is concerned, he still did all that stuff.
Yeah, and I like
it doesn't undo
that
Tennant's run.
He, what's his name? Moffat gave credit and / paid attention to the continuity before he was the showrunner.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
So it doesn't undercut anything that Tennant did with his angst about having been in the Time War. But now Matt Smith knows that he didn't kill all those people. So it kind of adds a bit of levity to his character for the one episode we get left. And I loved the 13 TARDISes around Gallifrey.
That was awesome.
That was great.
That was
the little archival footage. I mean, we weren't going to get Eccleston.
Even though there wasn't any John Barrowman, which was a crime in that episode. At least they had the wrist time thing.
And he's not dead. I mean, we've heard versions of a time agent dying before, but it's not Jack. We know he doesn't. So that's kind of cool. I liked how the little insight gags that were throughout the entire episode, like the recreation of the original show opening from The Lost Child.
It was pretty awesome.
The little black and white fade in, River's shoes inside the those red shoes that she was wearing inside the Black Room. They had a Dalek in there.
They had everything in
there.
Like,
holy crap.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love the little, like, fan geek out at the end with all of them standing there.
Oh,
the little dream sequence thing.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah. I like the little gag about the ears, which is one of Eccleston's first little gags in the new series. It was good. I mean, it was solid. Yeah. I liked them not having to shoehorn a 10 and Rose thing in there because they didn't do it that way. I like that. I thought
I
cool.
like that too. It was
that cool. Interview that Moffat gave, how that Smith's Doctor is the 13th Doctor. So, yeah, we're going to need some regeneration cycle breaking.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
I heard, too, they might, in that Night of the Doctor one with Paul McGann, that maybe he'll just change his appearance, not necessarily regenerate like the War Doctor did, right?
Well, we've got the end of The Day of the Doctor going on about how he revisits old favorites. So he's going to break his regeneration cycle somehow.
Yeah. And I loved seeing Tom Baker.
That was awesome.
I actually want to go back now and watch the Tom Baker stuff again.
That was so good. I love that little bit at the end. I like the idea of him revisiting old favorites. I mean, we could get David Tennant back again. I like Tennant going out on the same line. Because that little gag they did those two seasons in a row where it was like, what? Was as how he ended 2 of his series. and now we got to leave the show twice with the same dialogue.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool, but in a completely different way. I thought it was fantastic.
I thought it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Eccleston show up. I mean, I know he wasn't a big fan of the way the show was going and the people in charge, so
yeah,
we got a little bit of it. They had the regenerations. They had I think it was a Sarah Jane episode where he like made an offhand comment about he has 507 regenerations. So maybe it's Time Lord Law. They can only regenerate 12 times.
Maybe.
It'll be a quick, easy get around. I mean, they're gonna have to come up with something in order to not, ruin continuity. Because Moffat seems to be kind of big on that. So I mean, we'll get something. And
yeah, it'll be interesting where they take it. That's for sure.
Yeah. But overall, I think the 50th was a great success. It was a great episode. Main bad guys were a little bit weak, but everything else around it was strong enough to make up for it.
But it looks like the Christmas one's gonna kick butt, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, everyone's in there.
Silence, Daleks, Cybermen, freaking everybody. Angels.
The Angels in that one?
Yeah, there was a little peeky.
We get to find out who and what the Silents are. I love the Silents.
Mm-hmm.
They're such a cool... There was something just creepy about that design.
Yeah.
Just, they're always, like, damp.
Mm-hmm.
Especially at the end of it, and they're, like, in the suits and everything, and they're, like, weird fingers. Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So, I just want to do a quick little touchstone on the pop culture death of the week.
I've already forgot. Oh, yes.
I've already forgotten.
Yeah, I remember.
Family Guy had been teasing they've been killing off a main character. Now everyone, had their own theories. Some people thought it might be Meg, seeing as Mila Kunis is, her stock is kind of on the rise as always in Hollywood. Yeah. So, but no, they ended up offing Brian Griffin, voiced by Seth MacFarlane, who is less involved in the show than he was from the get-go. Mm-hmm. And busy guy. I guess he's got less shows now with the Cleveland show kind of rolling back into Family Guy soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was partway through the episode. He gets run over by a car. Stewie's time machine is trashed. Has no way to go back and save him. And they get like a dramatic as Family Guy gets, death scene. By the end of the episode, they adopt a new dog who's voiced by one of the guys from The Sopranos, Paulie Walnuts.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people thinking it's a gag, and they're just pulling a poochie.
Not a gag. That's how it's gonna be.
Did you see the design of the guy, the new dog?
I
haven't. He looks terrible. He looks like 5 minutes worth of design work went into it. So people are thinking it's a Poochie thing. There are episodes coming up where Brian's name is in the title.
Oh, yeah?
So, I don't know. I mean, some people have some theories, like it's just a big meta joke about how this crap is, like, undone at the drop of a hat. But for the time being, I mean, this would be akin to The Simpsons killing off, like, Lisa.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of an interesting move for them to make. And, I haven't watched Family Guy first run for a couple of years, but this was kind of an interesting thing. Brian is one of the, him and Stewie are like the main faces of that show. And they have been for quite a while. I don't know if they're
the main faces.
They're the guys that have gone beyond the popularity of just the show, I think. Because of their antics, they get their specials, their musical version episodes and everything. They're the buddy team of the show.
Yeah, maybe.
So it was an interesting move. It got people talking about Family Guy outside of, the normal animation community.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see where they go. If he stays gone for a while, if they bring him back, if there's, some other little MacGuffin that they write about to bring him back. So, it was an interesting little pop culture news point.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. Did you check out the Days of Future Past viral page?
I did not. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, it's called thebentbullet.com.
Huh.
And so they're doing, I'm not sure how much it plays into the movie itself, or if this is kind of just like drumming up publicity for it. But Magneto is charged and arrested and sentenced and jailed for the assassination of JFK.
That's kind of funny.
They're saying, like, he bent the second bullet from Oswald's gun.
Oh.
Not the kill shot, but the one that kind of, like, the magic bullet.
Yeah.
They have, like, a doctored photo of Magneto there on the grassy knoll that some kid in the story took. And they're saying that Oswald was actually Mystique. because there's a bit of dialogue where Magneto says in the transcripts, "You'll never find her. She has a way of blending in plain sight."
Yeah.
So she was disguised as Oswald, and then that's why Oswald had no idea what was going on, and then Jack Ruby was like kind of mind controlled a little bit to do it. They, in the transcripts and some of the documents on the site, they kind of brush off now how we're not getting Azazel and Tempest back.
Yeah.
Project Wide Awake killed them. Just kind of offhand getting rid of those guys.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes you wonder, Nightcrawler's parentage now.
That's cool.
But no, it's kind of neat. They look into like these historical video facts and footage. They have some documents about his cell.
It's a cool thing to drum up interest.
Yeah, and it's kind of a neat way because they played up the Cuban Missile Crisis for historical sake in the first X-Men First Class movie, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And having this be kind of, the mutants have always been an analogy for the downtrodden aspects of society. So having this kind of be during the 60s, playing up in the early 70s as well with the civil rights movement, like someone gets persecuted who might not have necessarily done anything, and there's like free Magneto movements and that in this little viral marketing. And it's very sleekly done. It feels like an A&E special.
That's cool.
So yeah, check it out, thebentbullet.com. It's kind of cool.
Awesome.
We got some of our, I think, outside of James Spader, some of our official casting for Avengers 2. We got Aaron Taylor-Johnson is officially Quicksilver, and Elizabeth Olsen is officially Scarlet Witch.
Should be alright.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll be in costumes for the movie, or if they'll just be kind of on the outside.
They're probably like their discovered or / origin type stuff.
But I love we're going to be getting magic, so
yeah,
that's kind of cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Whedon portrays Quicksilver's speed on film. So I'm thinking he might maybe go a different route. He might not necessarily go the time slowing down approach, because we've all seen that it's been done to death, and it's almost easy to do that. Yeah. And I'm hoping Whedon does a new way of representing the power.
Yeah, it would be nice. Yeah, actually. But we'll see.
Yeah. I think they're good choices. I mean, it's going to be kind of weird having Kick-Ass be Quicksilver.
Yeah.
But he's a good actor. I
like him.
I thought he should have been Peter Parker. I would have preferred if he were over Andrew Garfield. But having him be Quicksilver, I'm kind of psyched for. Yeah. I think it's going to be good. Again, good. I'm super looking forward to Avengers 2 anyway, so no matter who they cast in this thing, it's going to be great. And James Spader as Ultron. All right.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see how this goes. And to end on a downer, as we like to do on the show.
On a downer? I have a news too.
Oh, good.
Don't forget.
I don't. I forgot.
Yeah, there you go.
I did.
Anyways, what's your last piece of news?
We got our first look at the ugly new Optimus Prime.
That was not good.
It was so we're totally getting rid of any design cues from the
He's just all silver with a blue head.
Yeah, and a big sword.
Yeah.
It barely looks like Optimus Prime anymore.
So, maybe when he's in truck mode, he's red, but when he transforms, the truck is a shell and he jumps out in his silver body or whatever.
Great. It looks like his before he gets a
maybe a Cybertronian
version from the past or something. Yeah. And the great, really bad Photoshop Mark Wahlberg and the other two idiots on the cover.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg looks surprised that someone took his photo.
I know. Well, it's a magazine cover. They're all Photoshop.
So bad. And, no boob windows. Where's his boob windows? This is
I know.
Kind of design elements that Prime always has. Michael Bay. No, I hate it. Get rid of it. More flames. I want more flames. More gas. More smokestacks. More gas tanks.
I know, eh?
More flames.
Which
less
I didn't
windows.
Notice any smokestacks on him this time.
Oh, they're probably folded back in and around there as
Maybe.
Dreadlocks or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
I'm just... It's going to make $100 million on its first day. Going to make $1.5 billion worldwide, and they'll just keep making them and keep ruining them.
Just keep doing it. Keep dragging it out.
I cannot wait until we see the Dinobots. That's going to be great.
They'll be silver at least. Maybe.
They'll be blue.
I don't know.
They'll just be awful.
So,
all right, bring us back, Geoff.
Did you see the biggest movie release of the year on the weekend?
No.
Catching Fire. I must say...
My girlfriend and her friend were disappointed by the first one, so they're going to go see...
It was better than the first one.
They're going to go see it,
yeah.
and, I might. I'll go check it out with them.
It had the largest November release of all time, 161 point whatever million.
Jeez.
It beat the Twilight Sagas, it beat Thor, it beat everything. That's ever in history. So that's good track for the next one.
Disappointing.
It was far superior to the first film. Like, far superior.
It had a budget this time, apparently.
Well, yeah.
And half of it more went to Jennifer Lawrence, apparently.
She deserved it. This movie was really good. There was more characterization of the actual characters, so you actually got to know them a bit better.
Cool.
Unlike the first one, where it's just kind of everything was just rushed through, right? You didn't really get to know them at all.
Does he still decorate cakes better than anyone?
I'm sure he does.
We don't find out.
Not really.
Ah.
No, not really. There's a lot more political intrigue and a lot more Donald Sutherland, which I like.
That's not a bad thing.
Donald Sutherland's pretty great.
And Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yep, he was actually fairly decent in this. Although, when I'm watching it, all I can think about is watching that, what's it called? The movies with Ben Stiller in. Remember what that's called? Oh, damn it.
Something about
Along
Mary?
Came Polly.
Oh, okay.
All I can think about is I want to see Along Came Polly again. Where him and
Never seen
Ben Stiller are best friends, and they play basketball or whatever, and Seymour Hoffman is shirtless, and he's just dripping in sweat, right? Yeah. The one guy's face just rubs up again.
I thought you were going to say you wanted to see him set on fire in a wheelchair and thrown down a hill again, like in Red Dragon.
No. So, he was pretty good. Donald Sutherland was great. He's always
visually
great.
had it, because the first one looked cheap as all hell.
I don't think it looked cheap, but the second one, they really upped the production.
I swear to God, it's reused footage from Phantom Menace.
It was not. But, great stuff. The effects were much better. Much better. And I'm sorry to burst your bubble. No plastic bows in the future. No futuristic...
Were there still hologram-generated environmental hazards?
Yes, there was. Because it's the future, Gary. How do you create...
They can materialize stuff out of thin air, yet...
That's right. Acid mist. How do you create that in real life? You can't, Gary.
Why not feed people with this technology?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It'd be like the Federation had replicator technology, and all they built was gaudy costumes and laser beam guitars instead of feeding the people of Earth.
I know, it's so funny. But,
my God, we found a way to convert energy into matter. Can I have a potato? No. No. I need powdered wigs.
Yeah. Woody Harrelson was funny. He was so good. I love Woody Harrelson.
It kind of felt like he was just having a lark in the first one, and if it's the same in the second one...
Maybe. It is kind of the same, actually.
Yeah.
It's just like he's just there to have fun. That's what it seems like. And that's how his character came across, right? He's just a fun friggin' guy. It's awesome.
Hamish.
The games themselves, much more deadly, much more awesome. Lots of tridents. Love the trident.
It's such an impractical weapon.
It looks visually awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Though. Like
you can't look like you can't not look like a badass holding a trident.
Exactly.
Like, if I were to stand in front of you holding a trident, I'd look like a badass.
Yeah. I love the trident. There was some sword play, of course the bow and arrows.
Isn't there, like, a chomper?
I mean, a chomper.
Files her teeth.
Oh, there was one girl, yes, but you don't really see her in action or anything.
Is there a crap ton of off-screen deaths?
There is... How many contestants was there? There's like 20 contestants. Mm-hmm. But...
That's what I hated about the first one. It's like, you hear all these cannons, and it's like, oh no...
Well, you can't show every single one. The movie would be 4 hours long.
Yeah, but we don't care about the people that die at this point.
Exactly,
like,
who cares?
They're all beat up, but these people died with these cannon blasts, and they show their photos. Like,
that's like saying...
I don't even know who you are.
When you watch G.I. Joe or any other action movie... Well, I didn't see Buddy 3 streets away die from an explosion.
Yeah, but these are integral parts of the story. These people are the ones that are thrown together. Apparently they're not.
Otherwise they would focus on them.
Yeah, but we get focused on them in the training. We
don't actually.
Oh, okay. So there's throwaway characters, half of them?
They are just throwaway characters, yeah, half of them. They're not integral.
Seems weird that they were selected to participate in the Hunger Games then.
Well, whatever. So is every other character in the first movie. You don't see every single one training, and you don't see every single one die or follow them throughout the whole movie.
We're
it's the same as every movie.
Did they repeat all this information over and over again?
What do you mean repeat?
Like one of my complaints about the first one, where it's like the same dialogue is repeated within 5 minutes of each other.
No.
Okay.
No. They have that guy who does that talk show. I can't remember his name in real life. You know, the guy with the big
Stanley
head.
Tucci!
Stanley Tucci!
The second greatest character actor in the world, second only to Gary Oldman.
What? Really?
Stanley Tucci loves everything he's in, even if it's complete crap. I loved him in...
He was pretty decent in this one, yeah.
That movie with Emma Stone.
I don't know.
Whereas, like, it's Emma Stone, and she has a brother, but he's African-American. And no one else in the family is, and then they're talking, and it's like, yeah, I'm adopted, and Stanley Tucci goes, "Who told you?"
Oh, yeah!
I thought it was fantastic.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, Stanley Tucci is a winner in my book.
But yeah, it seems like all the, let's call them supporting characters from the first movie, like Woody Harrelson, Donald Sutherland, Stanley Tucci, all of them.
Lenny Kravitz.
They had a little bit bigger roles.
Yeah.
They were fleshed out more. They were all great.
Cool.
The supporting characters were fantastic this time around.
Cool.
So, overall, the movie was, I think, a win. It was way better than the first movie, like, way better. Jennifer Lawrence did better. PETA, your favorite painter, he did better.
That Hobbit.
I know. Everyone did better this movie. It was a greater movie. And I guess they preserved the ending from the book, which was great. Which everyone in the audience was just kind of like, what?
It's a big to be continued, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They don't say to be continued, but you know it's to be continued because there's a third book. Right?
And a third
but
and
that
fourth
was
movie.
Only a third movie.
No, they're splitting Mockingjay up.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's the exact same ending as the book, so I don't know why everyone was surprised. But
no one read the book!
Yeah, I know. So,
cool.
Good stuff. Really, I actually recommend this one over the first one.
And you have to have seen the first one.
I think you can actually take this one on its own.
Really?
Yeah. Because they sort of explain it. They just say...
A recap type of thing?
Yeah, not completely, but you know there's games, and they sort of talk about that, and they won the games.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just take it as a fact that they won some games in the past, here they are now. And it just goes from there. So yeah, you can pretty much take it on its own. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it far, 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 far better. So, I recommend go see it.
Nice. Speaking of movies, kind of a little editorial moment from a previous episode. You were harking on me about my anger towards the darkness. About the title crawl when it came up with Kronos.
And so you've gone to see Thor the Dark World.
Now, I saw Thor the Dark World. Now, my case in point still stands, where a character didn't specifically say, we are going to this place, 2 seconds later, here's the place that I just
believe
mentioned.
It was 2 seconds later.
No,
I believe it was
but
5 to 10
but
minutes
no character
later.
specifically mentioned that this is where the plot was moving to. The majority of them were end of scene, a different location, now this is where we are. That I'm okay with. After a while, like when they doubled up on the Dark World, where Malekith first showed up with the Aether, that got a little bit much. When they showed England, and they did it like once or twice, I'm like, okay, it's a little bit much, but it's still not as bad, so you were half right, I was all right.
You mean you were all wrong?
No!
Because it was fine in Star Trek, and it was fine in this movie.
No, it wasn't fine in either of them to a point. But having so many different worlds that we were going to in Thor, you kind of needed it at the beginning.
How do you not know what Svartalheim is, Gary? How do you not know? You should just know that automatically.
Yes, but again, my point being, a character didn't say, we are going to Jotunheim, and then 2 seconds later, like a post at the bottom of the screen, Jotunheim. That's what they did in Star Trek.
So what? That's fine. You can do that.
Not.
It's fine.
It's not.
Yes, it is fine.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
But again, I still had an issue.
You're the only one that has a problem.
I had
with
an
that
issue.
in the entire world.
I had an issue in Thor with them doing it so many times through the movie. Like they did Asgard like 3 times. They did London a couple of times. They did the Dark World a couple of times. After a certain amount of time of being showing the environments, the color palette that the thing is shot in, you gotta give the audience a bit of credit that they're gonna be able to figure out where you are.
Yeah.
As an introduction to all these places. Oh, and my favorite Easter egg out of Thor was Universe 616. I friggin' loved that.
Where was that?
It was on Selvig's institution when he was doing the chalkboard thing, showing all the patients, explaining to them about all the universes. It said 616 universe. I'm like,
how did you like the Collector?
I thought Del Toro was awesome!
I love that they put the Collector in there.
And James Gunn directed that part.
Did he?
So same as how Whedon directed the end credit on Thor.
Okay.
Was it on Thor? Yeah.
I think so.
James Gunn directed that because Guardians is up next.
Yeah.
And, so I'm liking where we're going with the Infinity Stones now, I guess they're going to be called.
Now, Thor's been out for 2 weeks, I want to say.
2 or 3, yeah. I think 3.
So, was there a final credit scene?
There was one after everything, yeah.
What was it? Because I didn't see it.
It was just Thor popping down into Jane's apartment.
That's
and them
lame.
having like a hug and kiss or whatever.
I'm kind of glad I didn't stay around.
Yeah, it's no shawarma.
Yeah.
But no, I love the end credit, the mid credit scene. So now we know that we've got 6 Infinity Stones out there.
I don't like their explanation of that, actually.
What do you mean?
The ether is an Infinity Stone.
Well, they said most of them are kept in solid form, but the ether was like the liquidy one.
Yeah, but then they go back and they're retroing a bunch of the other stuff too. Which
They're not retroing. They never really.
The Cosmic Cube isn't.
The Cosmic Cube
Stone.
isn't the Cosmic Cube.
It's dumb.
Because if it were the Cosmic Cube, it would be a reality warper. The Cosmic Cube in the Marvel
there's
universe.
a reality gem, so.
What? We don't know what one that is yet.
No, but it's probably the reality gem.
No, they. I think he said there was an interview with Feige. He said.
I believe it's beige, actually. Like beige.
I thought it was Feige.
I don't know. I think it's like beige.
Kevin Blank, if you're listening to this podcast, please feel free to comment on our video and get us 1 million hits and tell us how to pronounce your name.
You think he'd actually
we'll be
hits?
talking about you for the next long while, so we'd like to get it right because you're doing good stuff. But I think he did an interview where he said the Tesseract is the space gem or the space stone.
Yeah.
Because of how it kind of accesses.
I also don't like it stones. They're gems. Come on, man.
Either way, I'm hoping they don't retro this into the comics.
Yeah, me too.
Leave this alone. Leave them as gems. But I don't. I think if I had to choose, if I was making it up, I don't think the Tesseract should be the Space Stone. It should be I think maybe it should be the Power Stone because that's what they were all using it for.
Yeah.
It sucked power from somewhere else in space. Maybe that's why they're going to call it the Space Stone. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But having the Aether, I think, is probably going to be the Power Stone. Or maybe Reality, I think someone suggested, because of how it was kind of affecting all realities.
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean...
we'll see.
I like the idea that we're going to get them to begin with, and that this is a long play-out. Mm-hmm. Like, how many Marvel movies do we have now? We've got 3 Iron Men, 2 Caps, 2 Thors, Avengers, and a Hulk.
Yeah.
So we're up to 8, or 8 by next year, plus Guardians gives us 9.
Ant-Man.
So by the next year, we're going to have 9 Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And we've only got 2 gems. Stones, whatever. So this is going to be a long play-out. I don't really see us getting one in Cap.
Hard to say.
Because it just doesn't seem like the story where we get one of
no.
them. I think the little sub-blurb about Guardians is how these guys have something that everybody wants. So I think that's going to be the next time we see a stone pop up. Yeah. And I don't know how they're all going to fit on a gauntlet.
Don't know either.
Because the gauntlet in Odin's throne and vault looked like it took slots for gems.
So, how'd you like the movie overall?
I loved it. I liked the first one better.
Really? I actually think I like this one
Really?
better.
I thought the banter between Thor and Loki was fantastic. The Frigga story part was cool to see, but again, we don't get too much time with her, so the emotional punch of it is a little bit lost. Yeah. It's kind of telegraphed that, hey, look, we're making this kind of a big deal. No reason! Oh, yeah. Like I said, the banter between Loki and Thor was probably my favorite part. Idris Elba was awesome. Yeah. But I think just kind of the wonder and the majesty of the whole world, I liked its first go-around in Thor more so. As little as the Warriors 3 got in 1, they got even less in 2.
I know, right?
Like, Hogan's not even there. Like,
they
come
left
on.
him on that planet.
Yeah, but he's not. He's from Asgard, isn't he? I thought Hogan was from Asgard.
I thought so too.
I guess not.
I don't know.
the Warriors 3 deserve a little bit more play than they get.
Yeah.
Sif was really cool. I loved, like, the surprise secret cameo.
Surprise secret cameo? Who's that?
One of Loki's shapeshifts.
Oh. You mean at the very end?
No. When he's walking...
Oh, Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Because it came out of nowhere!
I know, that was pretty
so
cool.
So good! And I like how now with the setup for 3, where if Anthony Hopkins doesn't want to come back, we can kind of get a workaround for that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they filmed a scene they can just insert at any point in time, because he's pretty old.
Yeah.
So just like,
I don't know,
him sitting in prison.
Old guy hunts in the darkened corner.
Yeah.
I still like how we still keep getting a little bits of the Ravens here and there. And
I know.
Every time that there's a Thor connection in a movie, we always see the Ravens, even in Avengers, which I love.
I like that.
So yeah, I loved Thor 2. Liked it better than Iron Man 3.
Me too.
So yeah, good movie, good film.
So I guess that kind of wraps it up for today.
Yeah, I think we're done here.
We
got a little bit of a format change coming up.
Oh, that's right.
We're still going to be putting our shows on Facebook, but it's just going to have a static title card. YouTube. What did I say? I said Facebook.
Yes.
They'll be on Facebook.
They do go on Facebook, yes.
But they'll be hosted on YouTube. They'll just have a static title card, because what we're going to do from now on, we're going to be editing them down as strict podcast formats, and then hosting them on Geoff's site for...
Well, it's also because our lives are getting a little busier.
Yeah. So it just makes the editing process, because unfortunately this isn't our full-time jobs. I wish it were.
Yeah.
It would be fantastic.
So yeah, it'll be hosted... Okay, well first, it's on our YouTube channel. So check that out here. We're the Pendulum on TV. And you can find every episode here on the Pendulum on TV. You can find everyone reposted on our Facebook page, which is the Pendulum Podcast. From currently going forward, we will also be streaming them with downloadable links on our various blogs. So mine is thetelltalemind.com, and Garry's is
theshelflifeatwagnarok.tumblr.com for now.
For now.
Yeah.
And then I have a Tumblr account, which is mindmelds-home.tumblr.com. And are you using your Tumblr yet there, Mr.
I haven't been for a while, because I realized I don't have a camera that lets me do what I want to do with it.
Right, so let's just
Seriously,
say...
I'm using my Samsung S3 as my photo-taking device for my blog.
Yeah.
Because it actually gets me better pictures than everything else I have in my house.
Huh.
Yeah.
So for the moment, Garry is not using a Tumblr account, let's say. But he will be at some point.
Yeah, it's still pending.
Pending.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, we're... I'm getting a little bit busier, thankfully.
Yeah. Well, I am too, actually.
Yeah. So there'll be... are they MP3 downloads? Or
they are MP3s in glorious surround sound mono quality.
You love it. You love it. You love the mono.
Yes.
So yeah, they'll be available for streaming and downloading through one and eventually both of our sites. Yeah. Just going forward, they'll still be posted on YouTube, but again, static only. So the editing process eats a bit of time.
The specials, who knows? I do the specials. Sometimes I don't know. Maybe I'll do them up. Who knows? We'll see. But
thank you for joining us today.
We also have our Battle of the Atom mini coming up.
Yep.
Check that out. And we have the Infinity Mini coming up.
Yep.
Since that ends today. Nope, sorry.
Infinimini?
Maybe it ends next week.
It ends today.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so.
For some reason, New Avengers 12 takes place after the reading order.
It's kind of like an epilogue or something.
Yeah. Which is annoying because I like reading the big book of my week last. And I can't! I gotta read New Avengers last!
Yeah. So we have that mini coming up. We're gonna have a whole bunch of top 10s of the year coming up.
Yeah, we're gonna create a new concept. Year-end review shows.
Yeah. Brand new.
No one's done them before.
So check us out for innovation and quality.
Nothing but the greatest 44 kilobyte a second downloads here at the Pendulum.
Next week, if Garry gets his act together, he'll have a trade review.
Yay!
Saga Volume 1, containing issues 1 through 6.
I can read them on my break at work.
Woo! Great series. Find out Gary's take on it. I think everyone already knows my take on it. So
you hate it.
Stay tuned for that. We'll have some more new books, a new power panel. We'll have all sorts of stuff. Oh, and the previews came out today, so we'll have take a look through the previews for next week as well.
Excellent.
And that's quite a lot.
That
So
is a lot.
It'll be a jam-packed show next week.
This one's thick.
It sure is. So stay tuned, and we hope to see you then.